Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, September 26th, 2023. For Barron County Sheriff, I'm Chris Cheaper. Let me start over. I'm going to read it. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give Brian a call today, see what he can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. We did a search warrant already this morning, and we're on fire over here.
What?
We're not literally on fire, but
Well, that's good, too. A search warrant this morning.
yeah. Early morning search warrant.
So can you tell us anything about that?
I can tell you it was involves DCI and it involves some child pornography.
Go get them. Let's
I
go.
don't know. Yep. So that's all I can tell you right now. I don't know the outcome of it. They're still there, and we'll see what happens.
That's awesome news to start the day. Seriously.
That's right.
Getting bad guys, man. I love that stuff. Good morning, Heather.
And so how are you?
Well, on a scale of 0 to 10,
Okay.
with 0 being the Barron County Republican Party,
Come on.
and 10 being Mike Schaefer, he's killing it lately.
Yeah,
I'm about an 8. Yeah, yeah. There you go. For people who don't know, that I don't know if we really want to get into that, but that's a dumpster fire. What a tire fire that is. The Barron County Republican Party right now. What is going on?
It's bad. It's not good. They got to get along.
I've heard. What do you think? Professional exteriors. But I got my Bears shirt on today, Dad. We're rooting for them to, keep losing so we get good draft picks next year. Yeah, so real quick for anybody to know. So there's a story up on DrydenWire right now. I put it up this morning, and Romaine Quinn had a letter that was sent to, I don't remember. I don't know if it was everyone in the board or just the exact, I don't know. But yeah, there's some turmoil. I think the whole Republican Party right now is kind of not really all on the same page, which is interesting. But that was out there. They got some issues. I don't even think they're holding meetings anymore, which
They're not. I was at the last one for security, put it that way. That's how great it was.
And I heard that you were there and that you left and even said, "Jeepers." Like, what is going on?
I didn't.
But I guess if you want some good reading, I have been told that on the Barron County Republican page, their Facebook page, there's that would be a fun place to go and read some comments on your lunch break today. I haven't gone there yet, but I've heard there's quite a bit. And real quick, I want to give a shout out to the Barron News Shield. I've been critical of newspapers in our area on the show before, and I think rightfully so, largely because they're focused on AP stories and just stick to hyper-local. They're the ones that first had the story. This letter that Senator Romaine Quinn had sent, and somebody must have sent it to them. But they did a good job with that. Ryan Urban, I think, is the author of it. I don't know who he is. I don't think I've ever talked to him. I sent him an email yesterday. I found him on the Barron News Shield page and just said, great article. It didn't seem biased in any way. It didn't seem to be leaning one way or the other. Just stick to the facts. We even gave them a link in our article this morning stating that they were the first one that had that story. Give credit where credit's due. They did a good job.
Ryan's always been fair and good and does a great job. So, yeah, hats off to the Barron News Shield and Ryan Urban. They do good work.
Yeah. And speaking of congrats, Mike Schaefer.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell a story? I can't say it out loud. I can't get it out of my mouth.
He's like a superstar now. He's like Travis Kelce almost. He's up there.
Can you name more than 2 songs from Taylor Swift? The names of 2 songs. I can't name one.
I can't name them, but I could dance to them.
I know them, I'm sure, but I don't think I know one of them. But yeah, so if you missed it, the headline was Spooner Health's Mike Schaefer named one of 67 critical access hospital CEOs to know in 2023.
You suppose it came out, they stopped at 65, but he added a couple more.
He's probably on their board or something.
He's like, we named the top 65. I mean 67.
Yeah. So whoever number 66 is owes him a beer. Because that person got on the list too then.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But all joking aside, congratulations, Mike, to your team and to all Spooner Health. They're just killing it.
That's across the United States. That's not like top 66 in Barron County or
Yeah, Northwest Wisconsin. Right.
Right.
That's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So let's get on to before we get to some heavier topics here. We always like to start with the sports. I only have 2 big deals, but then I have 2 other questions. But here's our big deal. This is the last time I'm playing this, by the way. Big deal or a big deal? Big deal or a big deal? Big deal or a big deal? Is it a big deal or a
big deal?
So nobody else can hear, but I can hear you laughing out loud during that.
Every time.
It's so terrible. Yeah. So terrible. All right, big deal or big deal? This is right up your alley. This is on college football. Okay. Michigan, that's your team, right? Michigan Wolverines.
Right.
I look, they're 4-0. They should be 9-0 before they go into the last 3 games of the season. But big deal or big deal? All 4 teams that they've played are bad.
Right.
But they have yet to score any more than 35 points. They're not blowing them out. At the beginning of the year, after that first season, you're like, man, look at Oregon scored 83 points and all the they're not blowing them out. Right. These are bad teams. Is that a big deal or a big deal?
I'm going to go with a big deal because hopefully they're putting in their non-starters so they don't get injured, and we'll go with that. But
yes, it was, Renee.
Yes, it was. Renee.
So yeah, you
can't tell. It sounded like a sick dog. But
would you stop it? Yep, never playing it again. Never.
No, we're going to play it every time.
Oh, brother. Okay, I also agree. I think it's a big deal. This is, they're not very good teams. You want to see 45-10 and 50-10.
I don't watch football, I know, but they'll be fine. Don't worry. They're saving it for the end.
Oh, so now it's not a big deal.
Oh, big deal. Who cares?
Okay, so Dad says big deal. Who cares? All right, next one up is Colorado. Of course, Deion Sanders, the Colorado team, and all the transfers and whatnot. Boy, they just got smoked.
Yeah, they did.
Against Oregon. Is that a big deal or big deal for Colorado?
Well, for Colorado, they were in the polls and they dropped them right out. So that shows that they weren't that good because not many people drop that far down. You go from 18 to out just by losing the game. I mean, I know they got blown out, but again, against was it 10 versus 16 or 10 versus 18 or something?
That's the one, yeah.
You shouldn't drop that much. So to me, they were overrated, and that's why they dropped out. So it's a big deal for Colorado because I don't know that they'll get back in.
So I'm going to also say big deal, but I think for a different reason. I think when they went 3-0 in a lot of other organizations, a lot of other college, other schools are looking at this going, maybe they're onto something. Maybe we do use this transfer portal even more than we're using it right now. Mm-hmm. But now that you just get completely demolished against a really good team, granted, really good team, I think they're all kind of hitting the pause button on that. Going, okay, wait, let's wait to see how this plays out for the rest of the year. So I think that's why it's a big deal. It's a big deal for college football because I think that everyone's kind of pumping the brakes on, okay, we're not very good. I know. Let's get a charismatic coach and just tons of transfers.
Right.
So that's where I am. All right.
Or college will say, I'm just going to make a bunch of money this year. I don't care how big good our team is.
That's another good point. Okay, so the last 2 here, these aren't big deal or big deals. I couldn't figure out how to put these in. There are 3-0 teams in the NFL after just 3 weeks. Dolphins, 49ers, or Eagles. Which is the best of those 3 teams?
You're going to pick the 49ers because you think he's
because they are the best team.
No, they're not.
Who is?
Dolphins by far are the best team.
They barely beat the Patriots. They had one good game, and that was 70 points and like 400,000 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going Dolphins.
I'll go Dolphins.
All right. Well, you're one concussion for your quarterback away from not being good. But as of right now, 49ers have better wins, and plus it's future Hall of Famer Brock Purdy.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Future I know. I know. I called it last year. He's going to be. Okay. All right, and the last one here. Who had a better weekend, Jordan Love or Travis Kelce jersey sales?
Well, there's no question. Travis Kelce jersey sales had
they went to the roof. Yeah. Apparently, this Taylor Swift is a big deal.
Taylor Swift is a big deal. She makes billions just sitting still. I don't know.
Yeah, again, I don't know much about her songs or anything. I don't really listen to a lot of music, but I'm sure if I heard them, I would know. But did you see there's a story? Oh, man. Okay, I just got to bring this up. There was a story that she online, I don't know, people that follow her, I can't remember what they're called, but she has a massive following. And they're these Facebook detectives, they figured out that she left the stadium in a popcorn machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what the rumor is, that
I know,
there's
I
this
saw
big
that.
popcorn machine. And can you imagine that? I mean, we're kind of like a big deal in our little pond, you and I. Can you imagine not going to an event and having to leave in a popcorn machine so fans just don't smother you?
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
You can imagine that?
No, I can imagine that because it happened,
can't.
but it doesn't. I don't think it happened.
You don't think it did? You don't think she was in the popcorn machine?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to agree to disagree. All right, so we have, holy cow, we actually have a lot to get to, so we're probably not going to be able to spend too much time on one thing, but I've got like 8 things written down here. We'll get to all of that in 15 seconds after a word from...
In our patient satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit spoonerhealth.com.
Oh, good job, Mike.
Top 67.
Top 67. Yeah, and that I did call it and congratulate him. And it took me like 5 times to say, congratulations before he finally accepted. Because that's just Mike. When I see you and Tracy Finch, Brent Walk, Mike Schaefer's, well, Dad was on here when he was on there as well. Literally Shane Anderson from the Clerk of Court's office. Great leaders, they always say the same thing. And it's not like lip service. They all say the same thing. It's not me. I'm just a part of this. It's my team. Every great leader I've talked to and the ones that I respect all say the same thing. And that's what Mike said the first 4 times. I'm like, just say thank you. He goes, okay, thank you. But it's not me.
But it is. It all starts at the top. And so, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a good team, you're not going to be a good leader. So, I mean, that's the
true.
difference here.
Yeah, no kidding. Look at the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, that's right.
I figured out their problem, by the way.
What is
they
it?
just have, it's just the offense and then the defense, special teams, and coaching. So just fix those 4 things.
That's right.
And they're right back in it, man. All right. So unfortunately, we have kept the streak going in our area. There was an additional death. Last week, our headline was single vehicle crash in Washburn County claims life of Hayward man. This was, I think, like at 2 a.m. It didn't say anything in here regarding if there's alcohol involved or not. I believe he was only 28. But that's always tough to see. On a positive note, nothing out of Barron.
No press releases over the weekend, and I don't know that we'll have one out of today. We'll see what happens when the detective team comes back, but nothing. It was quiet. A few OWIs this weekend. Nothing that off the top of my head. So the West Bend Power, though, they're winning. So we went to watch hockey. They're the West Bend Power. Yeah, so that's what I did all weekend is watch the West Bend Power win. So
That's
maybe
awesome.
they'll have to come and be a sponsor of the show.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Tell them to send me a jersey or something, and I'll wear it on the show. Tell them to send me a jersey. I'll wear anything. Let's see, I got Professional Exteriors. I got Sawyer Creek Cattle Company coffee mugs.
Still haven't gotten Mountain Dew to sponsor us yet. Though.
No, I haven't. They're too big of a deal. We're not that big of a deal yet.
We're not that big of a deal.
Speaking of big deals, is this a big deal? This is actually in Burnett County, but court orders $1 million bond for a siren man in Burnett County homicide case. I believe he is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. $1 million bond.
At first-degree intentional homicide, there should be no bond, but you have to give them a bond.
Wait, what? You have to?
Well, basically, unless you can prove they're a danger to flee or a danger to do this crime again, you have to give some sort of cash bond. So, I mean, if you look at, I think the Jake Patterson case was $5 million. So $1 million is first-degree intentional homicide. Doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, it does get a little worse if you do it twice. But yeah, no, that's the correct thing to do.
Have you seen what do they call it? Is it not reprimand? When they don't get out at all? I can't remember what that's called. What's that called? When you don't get a bond, you're just, I don't know. I see it on movies all the time, right? They ask for remand, I think.
In the custody? No, well.
Or not remand. I don't remember what it's called, but have you seen a case that you recall that they didn't get any bond at all? It's like, nope, we're not letting you out.
No, I don't think I've ever seen that.
I wonder if that's just on movies and
I
TV
mean,
shows.
if you look at the Kloss case, and I mean that was $5 million, and that was
Right.
doesn't get any worse than that. I mean,
Yeah.
so and he got a bond of some sort.
All right, here's another one. Big deal. Or is this a big deal? Chippewa County Sheriff Travis Hakes faces removal efforts amid allegations. We typically don't cover Chippewa County, but so on Wednesday morning we get an email with all other media outlets, it wasn't just us, an email about it was Sheriff Hakes, this long letter, statement regarding they're trying to remove, but I'm constitutional and I swore an oath and all. I read through the whole thing going, what is this about? Like, I don't get it. So I emailed down, but I didn't hear back. So I'm like, I think I'm just leaving it alone. And then later in the day, we get another email through, DrydenWire's email through the media outlet contact stuff. And that one was a response from the board of the administration or something. And I'm like, well, now I guess we have technically two sides. So I posted it, but no kidding. I think even our sub-headline was, if you're looking for answers, don't read this story. Because I have no idea what's going on. I don't have a lot of contacts in Chippewa, but the people that are around it, I've called and just said, hey, do you have any inclination? And they're like, nope. Like, nobody knows what's going on.
Right.
And now this is all playing out, on social media, which is, stupid.
Right.
You're a sheriff. That's your neighboring county. I'm not going to ask if you talked to him. I don't want to know the answer to that one, yes or no.
I haven't talked to him, so that's
Okay.
a fair question. I haven't talked to him. It's a big deal if he did something wrong, and it's a big deal if the county board is trying to oust him without due process. So two things happens here. He did something, and I don't think I don't know. County boards, I don't think my county board would do that to me. I don't know. I don't think they would. And I've read something that says, county board can't remove the sheriff, and that's
Right.
100% accurate.
Correct.
And they're not saying they're going to remove him. They're saying that I believe how I read that and understood it, because I've only read what you printed, is that if they're voting to ask the governor to initiate an investigation to remove him from office.
Correct.
100% right. The county board has no authority to do that, but they do have the authority to say, governor, do this, governor, do that. The governor can tell them to go pound sand, but that's where we're at. And, if he claims he did nothing wrong, and then the county board should have handled this differently. But if something comes out, then it is a big deal. And so something happened, something is starting this, and I don't know what it is, but you're right. From those two articles, you get nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because then there was another article that was sent, so we published that one in a follow-up.
Right. Hang on.
Yeah. Nuts.
What was that? I missed that.
No, I stopped so I could listen. I want to see if I can get some breaking news here.
Tree down.
Okay. Yeah, there was. Then he sent another letter. It actually was from his attorney, which, first of all, that's smart. Right. Get an attorney, man. Have that person start talking for you. But yeah, I think more than one thing can be true. So is this the county board's going after him, they don't like him, or et cetera? I mean, okay, let's assume there's something weird about that. And maybe he's done something wrong. Both could be true. Right. I don't know. The whole thing, again, we'll find out more later. But the part that really stood out to me was, I believe they had said that they're potentially looking at criminal charges and filing with the district attorney. Well, that takes it up a notch. But yes, you are 100% right. The county board can't. It will then get just sent to their recommendation. If they do that, I think that's on like October 10th or something, another meeting, unless charges get filed before. If they do, I have no clue what's going on. Right. Then it goes to the governor. And yeah, then the governor or their office has to then do their own investigation. They just can't take everybody else's word for it. It's all right, well, now we need to do ours. So it could be a long process. I don't know. We should start an ongoing bet. Are we going to get an answer on that before or after we get a third judge in Barron County?
Well, I mean, that October 10th meeting is going to be a packed house because there's going to be a lot of information.
Yeah, because nobody knows.
No, a lot of that can't be discussed in open session. So I think there'll be a lot of people that go to that meeting will be disappointed because you can't discuss that. You can discuss the decision because when you come out of closed session, you have to give a decision. And, in his attorney's letter, he said, obviously some straw poll was taken, blah, blah, blah. But and you can't do that. And, so did they violate some rules? I don't know that answer. Yeah. A lot to sort through there. I have no idea.
Me either. Honestly, I wish I didn't know. I hate doing stories. I mean, I rarely ever. I can't remember the last one I put up where there was just no answers.
Right.
That was another thing. Speaking of, me in the past being critical of news outlets, that's one of the areas that I've been critical of in the past is they'll just put, here's a picture of a crash. There's a crash on Facebook. They'll put on, read more in next week's paper. Well, you don't even know anymore. I don't like when they do that. Don't post something unless you actually, can give information.
Right.
And that's what this feels like. There's a lot of words.
There's a lot of words in
But
there. Big words.
there's no substance. Like, well, so what's going on? Nobody has any ideas. So I don't like. I wish we didn't know. I wish this wasn't out there. To be honest, I'm glad they're doing whatever process that they're doing. Just I don't know if we necessarily needed to know all that, but hey, it is what it is.
Somebody let it out there. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So you didn't have any press releases this last week, but we did have an insider story for Barron County, and our headline was Court Sentences First of Two Men Charged in Barron County Stolen U-Haul Case. The court sentenced Luke Schiltz of Eau Claire on convictions from an incident in Barron County that was earlier this year, during which authorities engaged in the pursuit of a U-Haul that had been reported stolen. Schiltz was arrested along with John Clark when the pursuit ended with the U-Haul becoming inoperable. Schiltz appeared most recently on September 19th, last week, for a sentencing hearing on conviction of a Class G felony, second-degree recklessly endangering safety. The other charges against him were dismissed but read in. The Honorable Maureen Boyle ordered a 10-year sentence for Schiltz with 5 years of confinement in state prison, followed by 5 years of extended supervision. 10-year sentence with 5 in for this. Surprised by that?
I don't know what his background was. He must have some criminal record, but I love it. I mean, I think it's great. Don't come to Barron County and commit crimes, and that was dangerous. He put a lot of people at risk with that high-speed chase, and I don't know if he was the driver or the passenger. It's not our case. It started in Rice Lake, but I know we were involved in that, and other people were involved in that. So that's all I can tell you.
It doesn't seem too high. Like I don't think you and I have ever said, that's too high. That's too much of a... We've never said that.
Right.
Usually it's they got what? This one wasn't one of those. Actually, when I saw it, I'm like, that does seem a little high. I'm cool with it.
Right.
So there must have been more to that. You're right.
I think there's more to that as background or previous convictions. Maybe he's already been to prison once. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, all those go into factor when the judge do that. Judge does those type of things. So there's a pre-sentence investigation done by an independent probation agent that looks at his background from your childhood to your adulthood and everything in between. They get 90 days to do those pre-sentence investigations. That's why you see someone get convicted and then 90 days later, could be up to 90 days for conviction or for a recommendation for sentencing, and then both attorneys get to argue that sentence, and then the judge makes a decision.
Childhood?
Well, I mean, it might go into your childhood that
I better never get arrested. I had a lot of dumb things when I was young. Holy cow!
Yeah,
I didn't know they took that into account.
Well, I'm not. They look at your life and they put that into. I don't know. There's some kind of. I can't remember what it's called. There's kind of chart. I don't know. So.
A chart. I like charts. Spreadsheets and charts. I love it. Hey, Renee says, want to say thank you again for your help last Saturday to Deputy Jared Woody. You are one of the best. So, your help last Saturday to Deputy. What is this about?
I don't know. I don't have a Jared Woody. It's not our deputy. It must be a Washburn or Sawyer County deputy.
Your help last Saturday. What did I do last Saturday? I don't think I helped. Maybe I don't know.
Not you. She's thanking the deputy.
Oh, for his? Oh, okay. I thought it was us. I'm like, I don't know what I do.
Read it.
Well, sorry.
She's thanking the deputy because somebody helped her.
Oh, very nice. Good job, Deputy Jared Woody. Must be a Washburn County because Washburn County has better deputies than Barron County, which is why you keep stealing everybody.
Right. Might be the truth.
Might be. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, we already kind of touched on this. We had an article last week that our headline was Governor Evers extends application deadline for Barron County judge again. So we actually talked about this last week, and I asked you at what point are you kind of getting concerned, or not concerned, but I think that was the word we used because I couldn't think of anything else. Now that you know that it's being, the can has been kicked at this point, doesn't sound like there's going to be a decision made anytime soon. When you saw that, what's you talked to the other judges as well, the DA. You obviously, as a sheriff, you have a relationship with the DA and the judges, etc. Is this, it's no big deal? Is that what you're hearing from everyone in the judicial system, or are they a little concerned?
I haven't talked to them about this latest extension. I think we're all concerned about it because it might hamper our system. I don't know if there's politics in play here or what. I don't get it. I don't understand it. They either have a candidate and he's trying to do something, finish something out, so they extended it just
find
in
a residence. I've thought about that too. Maybe you have to find a residence in Barron County, so when he's appointed, he's living in Barron County.
You don't have to live here if you're appointed, but you have to live here before you run for the election.
Well, that's coming up.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I know. Why are we even doing this at this point? It's September. You got to take out papers in December, January?
December 1st.
I mean, by the time you get the job, you're not even going to be able to get to baby judge school, right?
No, there is no more baby judge school.
Yeah, that starts now, I think, into September.
It was last week, I think.
Oh, was it last week? Yeah, so I wonder if that's some strategy. I don't understand what that would be.
If you're already a sitting judge, you wouldn't have to go to that school.
Oh, that's true too. So what you're saying is,
yeah, maybe there's some.
Could be. A lot of speculation.
I'll apply, but I got to finish out a case. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what politics are behind this. I don't like it. I think there was some qualified candidates that I heard applied. I don't know.
You and I have heard the same 5 people. And those are the same 5 people I've heard from about a dozen other people.
Right.
Now, there could be more, but you and I are aware, and a lot of people are aware of those 5. Now, we haven't independently verified all 5, which is why we have not stated that publicly. Plus, there's no reason necessarily for that. But there were some, absolutely well-qualified individuals.
I thought so, too. And I don't know. I don't get it. But I never will.
Yeah. Cody asks, how can I sponsor to remove the professional exteriors? Pay more than they are. There you go. We'll do a little segment just for you, and you can just pay just pay more. Pay twice as much as they're paying, and sure, no problem. Done.
That's right.
All right. And hey, speaking of
trying to take care of my wash machine, though, if he's still listening, I need him to pick up a wash machine at my house and take it to the dump with the shingles from the guy across the street next time he comes over. So
they do everything there. I see him all the time in the morning at the holiday station. I usually go there at 7 in the morning. I always see him there with his team and heading out, going places. He's just killing it. All right. Last one that I had on the list to make sure we talked about. This isn't Barron County, but it was just last night. Our headline was Sheriff says Sawyer County deputy arrested on charges of domestic battery and stalking. There was a press release from Doug Morotek. It's on our website. I believe it's on their Facebook page too. During the initial investigation, Polk County investigators, because Polk County, of course, needed to investigate this since it's a Sawyer County deputy, investigators had probable cause to believe that Deputy Ryan M. Schick, 28 of Hayward, committed the crimes of domestic battery, false imprisonment, strangulation and suffocation, and stalking. Deputy Schick was arrested and is currently being held in jail. The case remains under investigation by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Were you surprised when you saw that? I wouldn't say it's a black eye on law enforcement, but this isn't something you want to necessarily promote.
No, I wrote the press release for when my deputy did that. I mean, we had a deputy years ago do that, and you got to be transparent. You got to, like we've always said, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect at our jobs, and no one is perfect. We're held to a higher standard, the same standard you are, if not higher. When if that happened to a regular case, we might put a press release out. So we should put a press release out if it happens to a deputy. And I think we should let people know that. And whether he gets, and like it said, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But he's in jail, so that does mean something. And to me, that means when we put people in jail, we have evidence. In my opinion, not always. The district attorney sometimes says not enough there. Find some more. But obviously you have a victim in this case that obviously must have came forward. So you protect that victim and you work the case like you would any other case. Thank you to Polk County for coming over and doing that. We shared those resources and things that when we owe each other, so that sucks. It sucks for law enforcement. But we're held to the same standard, if not higher than our
Higher
federal
standard.
government.
Absolutely
Yeah,
higher
we
standard. And you should be. And I think
100%.
any legit cop would say, and we should be too.
And hopefully he admits this and gets help for whatever the issue is. And
Yeah, if that was the case, yep, then
probably still not going to be a cop, but maybe he can come back to be a cop someday. You know, I'm not saying you can never make mistakes. So
yeah, there was again, these stories don't give me any pleasure, of course, even publishing. Now, granted, it's a press release, but there was a situation. We did a story. This was years ago. It was a Washburn County deputy who had a first offense OWI. It was over in the cities. I had somebody else working for me at the time, and he's the one that found out. So we get the criminal complaint. And Dad was still the sheriff back then. I said, yeah, just let you know, heads up, we're going to be doing a story on this person. He goes, yep, this was like 2 months ago. He came and told me right afterwards, I'm surprised it took you this long to find out. Like, all right, so we're going to do it. I did the story, and then he calls and says, yeah, I don't know if we're going to keep his job now because he left out one part when he talked to me about this, and it was something about a Brady law or something. Like he lied to the cops that he wasn't drinking. I can't remember what it's called. What is that called? That
the Brady law,
something like that.
Lie.
Yeah. So, but the positive part of this story is that person ended up resigning from the sheriff's office, but went on to a neighboring county or another county, and has continued a successful career. He got the help that he needed, and got in shape, lost weight, and got focused again. Because cops still aren't. We hold them to a higher standard as we should, but they're still human beings too, and they can still get a wake up call and go, man, Brady letter. Oh, thank you.
Dave Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Yep. So you can actually, it's like everybody. Sometimes you just need that in life. Now, obviously, these are we're not talking about OWI here. Right. That's something you kind of do to yourself, but things against other people. Maybe that's a little bit different, but the transparency. It's important. When I got this at like 4:20, I'm like, well, I got 10 minutes. I can still request a booking photo, which is what I do for every single press release. If I know if it's said right there, in custody in jail, first thought is, well, I got to request a booking photo. Oh, wait, though. Do I really need to? Do I need to put this guy's face out there too? He's a cop. I'm not kidding. I had about a minute conversation with myself in my brain going, because I support law enforcement.
Yeah.
But but I have to because that's the precedent that we have set. And if I don't do it for one, then I can't. Now, if there wasn't one isn't available, that's different.
Right.
But I have to request it. But I called up this time instead of emailing. Like I feel badly that I have to request this, but I feel like we have to. But that was a little uncomfortable even for me to post that or to request that photo when I had about a minute there where I was trying to talk myself out of it, finding reasons why not to do it.
Is he in the Sawyer County Jail?
Yeah.
Really? Surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's in his own jail. Well, because you'd move that one to a different county. You'd put him in a different jail.
Maybe he just got put in the jail yesterday.
Yeah, maybe he'll get released or
initial appearances. Yeah, Hayward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Arrested and is currently being held in jail. So I requested it in email, and then I also called, and they sent it. So unless he's been arrested for something else, which I doubt, maybe he's. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. It doesn't say anything in there about what his job status is.
Right.
I don't know. How does that work?
It's suspended with pay or suspended without pay, and if you have enough for a criminal charge, I think you can suspend without pay. But there's due process in that. Just like there's due process we said with Chippewa County Sheriff Travis Hakes. I mean, there's due process you get. You just don't get to have someone take a political stand against you for whatever reason. You get due process. So he gets due process too. So you may have to pay him, suspend him with pay until you do your own investigation because you can't always use the criminal complaint as part of your internal investigation. It can be part of it, but you have to do other parts. So there's other things that go on. So you may have to suspend somebody with pay so they can't come back at you and sue you, for back pay. You want to do that right, and so you might suspend with pay, but there's different rules depending on the criminal charge, etc. So it's a process that the county has to go through.
Yeah, you know what? I love that. By the way, we don't see her on often enough. I think she had like a different job hours now, but yeah, she's right. 100% right, Amanda. You support the cop and not the activity. Love the sin or not the sin, alleged sin. But no, I think that's a good thing to keep in mind. and for everyone, not just cops, right? I mean, there's really, really good people. I have known people that have been on booking reports, and I had to do stories on, and I know these people, and they're really good human beings. They're just, I'm never going to say made a mistake,
Right.
but they made a choice, and it was a bad choice. I make bad choices all the time. So far, I haven't gotten arrested, but it's early yet.
He's looking for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we had a lot to get through there, and that was all I had to make sure I got through. Anything else that you wanted to make sure we talked about?
No, I think we're good.
I haven't seen Dirk Miller on. I wonder if we're not going to have a weather update today.
I'm sure not. It's dark.
Looks like rain. We can do it. We don't need Dirk. Jeepers.
Rain. Doesn't the sun might come out?
Yeah. Well, as long as I have a minute here, as a reminder, an announcement. 2 weeks from today, we're going to be doing this show live on YouTube only.
You will be, because I won't be here the 10th, remember?
What the? No, I don't remember this. So, okay. Why don't you tell me that before?
Not here the 10th. I told you that.
So I need to find a guest to fill in.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on the 10th. All right. So I'll have an announcement next week about October 10th now. So maybe we won't do it on YouTube. I'm not really sure. And then also next week, so this Sunday, October 1st, it's our 8-year anniversary of DrydenWire.
Oh, awesome.
So,
congrats.
Wow. Really? Oh. Congrats.
What was I supposed to say?
I don't know. It wasn't what you said. It's how you said it. Oh, well, big deal.
Oh, big deal. Who cares?
Yeah, there you go. That's what your response was. But next week, for no particular reason, we decided to just do 5 shows. So a show every morning at 8:30. So on Monday, I think it'll be Kirk Anderson. And I don't know if we're going to have a guest on, but Kirk and I. Tuesday, of course, this show. Are you going to be on next Tuesday?
Yeah, I will be.
Wednesday, I don't know if I have anyone yet. I'll find out, I think, later today. Then Thursday will be mental health specialist Darren Cox. And then on Friday, I think we're having back on Stacia Cross, Officer Andy. And then I think you guys have a new school liaison officer down there. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be like 4 of us on for that show. So look forward to that.
Good deal.
Yeah. Oh, big deal. Who cares? All right, Dirk. Few rain showers today. Tomorrow, drying out for the rest of the week. High 65 to 70. Warmer for Friday and on for the weekend. Great weekend to get out. Oh, nice. That'll be a great weekend to stay inside and watch college football on Saturday and NFL football on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
Every weekend's a good weekend for that.
Every weekend's a good weekend now. So.
All right. What do you have coming up this week?
A couple meetings. We're doing a event at the Cedar Mall on Thursday. It's called a multi-agency response event. We're going to have like 20 or 30 different organizations, and people can come in and get services that they need right there during the day, from like your teeth clean to different things. And people that are in need of any kind of services can come directly. Human services, hospitals, banks. I don't know who else is there. But we're providing some coloring books, and I got some coloring books set aside, and we're going to be hanging out with the kids that are there. If people bring kids, while they get help services. It's a new thing we've started in the county. It's gone out to our churches and to our food pantries, anybody that needs any kind of services. We did this after the tornado years ago, and it worked really well. We've always wanted to do it, so we're finally doing one. We're going to see how this one goes, and we'll advertise the next one a little bit more. But we wanted to get a dry run in here.
When is this?
Thursday. At the mall.
So who can go?
Anybody that needs any services, basically.
So if you already have insurance, I mean, is this for people who don't have insurance? Or like it doesn't matter who you are, just any age, anyone? I mean, ideally have a parent if you're a kid. Like a 6-year-old can't come in and want their teeth done.
Well, no, I mean, they're not going to do everything right there, but we're going to try to, instead of you calling and saying, hey, I'm going to return your call, these people are going to be able to help you answer questions and at least set you up with a starting point so you don't get pushed to this guy and pushed to this guy and pushed to this guy. So, it's just trying to get people services, direct services to people
That's
basically
awesome.
anything you need. Hopefully there'll be somebody there that can at least point you in the right direction, make the contact, set the appointment for you so you know where you're going and what you're going to expect. So it's kind of interesting. So that's what I'm doing Thursday. And then obviously Jace plays hockey again this weekend, so we'll probably go watch him again.
Of course.
So
It's didn't you say it's going to be for like 40 straight weeks or something?
So.
Yeah. No kidding. I want one of those jerseys. If I got to pay for it, I'll pay for it. See if you can. I don't know if you can buy the whatever jersey he has, but that'd be kind of fun. You know, wait. What am I talking about? You should be buying the jersey. It's your son. You should wear a jersey on one of these shows. That'd be fun.
Well, they don't have them yet, but they're getting them. So
that'd be cool. Well, let me know because I've only jersey I have that's hockey is Blackhawks, but now with cancel culture, I don't wear that anymore. It just stays in the closet because some people it's the name of the team. What do you want me to do? Hey. All right. Well, this Thursday will be Romain Quinn will be on for his monthly show. I'm sure we'll be talking about some goings on of the Barron County Republican Party. I don't know what he'll be able to say or not, but I don't think he's going to be down in Madison for this show. He's down there today, so because there's certain things you can't talk about when you're in the building, campaign stuff, etc. I don't know if this would fall under that umbrella, but other than that, I'll be just watching the Cubs. There was 1 week left of baseball. Sunday ends the baseball season, and right now they are the last team in for playoffs. If the season ended today, they're in the playoffs.
Does it look like the Brewers will play the Cubs then?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think the Cubs are going to make the playoffs. Their last 6 games, the first 3 against Atlanta, in Atlanta, they're the best team in baseball, so they're probably going to only win 1 out of those 3. Then they go to Milwaukee and play 3 games against the Brewers. Probably only going to win 1 out of those 3, so... Yeah, but if they do get that last spot, they would be playing the first series against the Brewers. But
well, that'd be a heck of a series too.
That'd be great.
But the problem is you play them the last 3 games, and you can play them, turn around and play them again. But playoffs are a different breed. So the Twins are in. Maybe we'll have a Twins-Brewers World Series.
The Twins, seriously. The Twins have basically the same record as the Cubs, but they're in the worst division, so they just whatever. That's a whole other thing. Don't get me going on baseball. All right, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give Brian a call today. The number's right there on the screen. Fitzy and I will see you next week, right back here on Tuesday, and I'll see all of you this Thursday with Romain Quinn right here on Facebook at 8:30. So until then, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.